Hi, Luke from Korg here at Absolute Music. Today we're checking out the PA300, so let's have a listen. So the PA300, Pro Arranger keyboard, loads of great ways to make your music inside with styles, hundreds of sounds, a sequencer, and also the ability to play back not just MIDI files but also MP3s as well. So if you take a look at the main screen, it gives us all the information that we're going to need. For instance, what style we have, the sounds, upper 1, 2 and 3, and a lower sound should we need it, and also single touch settings, which are quick settings to get to the sound that's been advised for us with that style, which of course we can override. So if we have a listen to this style, which you've dialed up first, sounds like this. So you can see in the main screen there, it's telling me the chord that I'm playing with my left hand. And then I'm free to play whatever sound I want on my right, which I can pick from my upper sounds. What's also great is that you can turn off the accompaniment and turn on manual bass, which will give you the bass sound of that particular style, but you can play it with your left hand instead of just playing chords. So you've got this kind of thing. So it gives you options to play in the style that you like. Another very powerful thing in the PA series in general is this Songbook. So that can be a collection of songs, and there's loads of presets in there already based on well-known songs, and they give you the right style, the tempo, the right sounds, and some single touch settings to go with that. But you can also make your own custom songbook as well. So which is what I've done here and called it PA300 demo. So that first track you heard I've put in there. So here's another example. So what I'm going to do today in this demo is show you different ways you can kind of be creative with this kind of Pro Arranger product. So not necessarily always just playing with a split keyboard with a rhythm and then a melody, but playing in different ways. So for instance now, I've just got pizzicato strings over the whole keyboard, like this. So I could, if I want to, just turn on the accompaniment and it would follow my chords and I could play, or I can use these pads. So there's 4 of these pads, and if I press pad on the screen, it shows me what these are assigned to. So for instance, if I play a chord, say it's C sharp major there, select pad 1 and it plays a bass line for me. Pad 2, different bass line, pad 3, a little synth line, and you can change these by going into these pad settings. So this one complements what I'm going to play really nicely. We can start off the drums as well with a synchro start. Bass. So it's making music in a kind of loop-based way with these pads. So another way of messing around with your music. We can take this style, analog beat 1 that it's given us here. I'm going to change the tempo. We can also tap a tempo if we want to, and it will start. So I'm going to put the tempo down a little bit. You can revoice the styles really easily as well. So let's select that same style, analog beat 1, and if I press the volume tab and press track select, it shows me all the different sounds which are used on that style. So as you can see, I've got the same style, but this time I've got analog kit, or I can change the kit and revoice it. Let's choose a synth sound, and away we go. Another great thing about this keyboard is that all the sounds are fully editable right down to oscillator level, which is incredibly rare and I think unique for an arranger type product like this. Same thing goes for our other arrangers as well. So the way that you edit your sounds is you just select whatever sound you want. So say it's this choir sound, and then I can drop this down, press edit sound, and then I'm into my sound edit. I can change all the real-time control things like attack, decay and release and filters, but I can press menu then and actually go in, choose how many oscillators I want, up to 24, select the waveforms, and then once I've changed it as I need, I can write my sound, so I can save a user sound. So incredibly powerful. Of course, you can use it in the traditional way that arrangers have been designed to be used over the years. Split keyboards, select your style, 4 one-touch settings I've got here, so I'm going to select STS single touch settings 4, which is a cornet, and as soon as I do that, it's all ready to go. It's waiting for me on variation 1. Off we go. I can select a different single touch setting for a different section of the song, maybe a flute, so a different variation. Third variation. Fourth variation. And as you can hear, lots of different variations and articulations to the sound. So a lot of detail in the sound. Octave piano using the ensemble, so that will give me an automatic octave. Here's another example of how amazing the sounds are. So you've got this great overdriven guitar sound. And again, thinking about it as a songwriting tool, this particular style is really good. It's called pop rock. And it's just a nice bed just for creating ideas on. So if I just start it off, you'll hear it just play a basic rock pattern. And then I can obviously change my chord on the left to get it to follow. Let's put in the guitar. Change variation. So as you change variation, it generally steps up the intensity of the style, or the arrangement, to give you a bigger orchestration for different sections of the song, so like verse, chorus, bridge, etc. But you can also use this same style and any style in a different way. So at the moment we've got a traditional split keyboard, but if I select my piano now, you can turn off the split and then it lets you play piano style over the whole keyboard, but it will still use that same style and follow the harmony. And you can also see it's giving me a bass inversion, so if I play some nice different bass inversions, it will follow me as well. So great scratch pad for writing songs. Also very easy to record as well. So here we've got a nice string sound. Sounds like this. Let's add some drums. Now I've got that idea and I want to quickly record it. So the way that you do that is press sequencer, and then I can press record, and it will ask me, do I want to do a multi-track sequence so I can build up track by track up to 16, or in this case a quick record backing sequence. So I'm going to select that and press OK, and now it's just ready to go. So all I have to do is, if I want to, set the resolution from high, which means it's unquantized, but I'm going to quantize this into 16ths, and I'm ready to go. So all I have to do is press the red button, the start button, it will give me a bar in, and I'm ready to go. There we go. So I've got my recording, I can play it back, I can change the tempo, I can re-voice it, so let's have a different sound. So I'm happy with that, I can now save it. So let's go there, save song, save, I'm going to call it my new song. Okay, it's going to save it onto the internal disk. So that means I can now exit back into style mode and then later say come back to it by going song play, load it back, my new song, listen to it. It's remembered my sound adjustment as well. And then if I want to, I can press lyrics and score and actually see the notation. Change the clef if I want to. And I can change the part. So that's track 1, which I recorded the strings and then change it to the synth onto. But I can see any of the other parts. They're all blank, of course, but I've got my drums later on. So I can see it all as notation, which is fantastic. And of course, it might not be something that you've recorded, it might be a MIDI file that you've downloaded and then put onto a USB key into there, and then you can show the notation of that on the screen, of whichever of the tracks you want. So very powerful. Down the bottom right of the keyboard, we've got this section called Performance. So first of all, you've got a setting there called My Setting, which is great, because what that does is it just zeroes everything right back to whatever setting you save into there, and by default it's just a single piano. So if at any time you just think, oh, I just need to get my piano back quickly, just press My Setting and you've got it straight away. But it also, this section allows you to save layers and splits of your sounds. So for instance, we can go into strings and orchestra section, strings and vocal section, and see some of the presets. And here's one I've made here, just a simple piano and orchestral kind of layer. So you can hear lots of dynamics in the sound there, depending on my velocity. Here's another example. Big orchestral sound. I'm going to show you now a different way of recording. So we're going to do that same thing we did earlier. I'm going to go back into style. Bring down the tempo actually a little bit. Go into sequencer. Hit record. Back in sequence again, quick record. I'm going to turn off the accompaniment because I only want to hear my sound this time. And I'm going to put the resolution this time onto triplets, semiquavers. And I'm also going to start the metronome off so I can hear the click. Now I just press record and it'll give me one bar in. So we've recorded that now. Listen back. If you speed up. And then play over the top if we want to, or record over the top. So I'm back in the main style play of the PA300, and I found this really neat style called orchestral movie, and it suits the kind of Bond style particularly well. So for one of the single touch settings, I've got this really nice brass section with a split keyboard and an orchestral hit on the left hand for this sort of stuff. As you can see at the moment, that memory button is holding those chords for me. I can turn that off for stabs, which is great. Stuff like this. Now I'm going to go into the main style. So I've selected a different sound, it's split the keyboard, and I'm away. Here we go. Okay, so that was the PA300. Go and check one out in Absolute. Incredible new keyboards, and see you next time. Cheers.